Good afternoon, YouTube. Motovlogger Jimmy here again. Yay! Well, someone had another crash in August. It is now the 10th of October. Shit, it's my mum's birthday today, so I completely forgot. But yeah, Jimmy had another crash. He broke his wrist and his elbow. We're literally just about to go over what happened, why it happened, and how it could have been avoided. I'm not going to say that I wasn't at fault for any of this. My part in this crash could have been avoided if I had just been more careful and just, being more aware of what could have possibly have happened. I am actually currently using my Shark, I think it's an S600 play, I think that's what it is, my backup helmet. Obviously you can tell I am back on the bike. My wrist and elbow aren't broken anymore. You could say that they are healed. However, I am going to have lasting pains and more likely arthritis when I'm older in both wrist and elbow. That being said, my shoulder has been pretty screwed up for the last 2 years anyway, due to me being ran off the road back in 2015 over at Russ and Y, because a driver didn't like the fact that I thought I'd passed him at some lights. But anyway, we're near where I had my crash. So essentially, a bit of a backstory. I was on my way to work. It was about 6:30 in the morning by the time I had the crash. I would have normally have been in work by 20 to 6. However, I just decided I didn't want to do the overtime that day, so I didn't bother going in as early. I thought I'd go in for 7 o'clock instead of 6 o'clock. So initially what had happened, I pulled up to this roundabout. Everything was clear. I was coming around here, and literally where that fucking idiot there just pulled out in front of me, a guy's pulled out in front of me, right? And when this guy pulled out in front of me, I've had to slam on my brakes, locked up my rear wheel, narrowly missed sliding into the back of him. Didn't drop the bike or anything. This wasn't the accident. So me and the chap were literally going up here, and he starts brake checking me up and down this road before we get to this pedestrian crossing here. Right, and he's brake checking me to the point where he's almost stopping in the middle of the road. He's not slowing down or anything. Well, he is slowing down, but he's slowing down to the point where he's stopping. Right, so at this point I'm just getting fucking agitated, and I'm just waiting for the road to straighten out so I can overtake him. Right, and so we're coming down here. He's still brake checking me, so I leave off. I just back off a bit, and I get about 80 meters distance, and it was about here. I've gone, fuck it, alright then. So I've gone from about 20 mile an hour up to about 40 at this point. Went to overtake him about here, and then he all of a sudden just swings right, and he's literally about to cut down that road. And hold on, let's find somewhere where he can pull over. And yeah, he swings right. I've hit the side of him, and I've scraped from his driver's side door handle all the way down to his rear bumper, and I've gone over the front of the, literally the impact with his bumper, where my boot impacted his bumper. I kind of just grabbed a bit too much front and rear brake then, and the front end just dug into the ground and just vaulted me. I've gone over the car. Right, bearing in mind I'm at his bumper, and he was in the BMW 3 Series, I think it was. Yeah, so he's come into the side of me. He's like swung right, and I've hit him, scraped down the entire length of his car, and front end's dug in. I've gone flying over the car, landed in front of the car. The bike's come with me. It's landed on its right side initially, because we both went over and out that way. So when I was flying through the air, I literally just thought roll. Alright, so I've gone to roll, but as I've gone to roll, I've landed on my wrist and my elbow. I didn't tuck myself in far enough. So as I've rolled, I've tried to get my shoulder over, but I've also landed camera first as well. That took a fair brunt of the impact. And doing that is knackered the camera to the point where I can't use it anymore. It is screwed up. It is beyond repair. So I've got a new one, as you can tell. We're just testing that today properly and going through what happened with the crash. Yeah. So anyway, I've gone over the front of the car, and he's tried to essentially drive away. Right, hold on. What we're gonna do is we're also gonna go on for a little ride while I'm babbling on, because we probably don't want to just sit there and talk to you guys. So yeah, as I've gone over the front of his car, well, over the entire length of his car, mind you, I've landed on the floor. Bike's landed right side first, like it literally went up, landed, and then the impact of me and the bike landing on the floor, the bike's kind of bounced and landed on its other side. What had happened was, yeah, this bloke did try to drive away. However, a couple in a car coming the other way saw what had happened and pulled in front of the bloke, like between me and the bloke, and so he couldn't physically drive away. Motorcyclist behind, he didn't see what had happened, but he literally got to the scene about a second after the bloke had stopped. Like literally, he come over the brow of that hill, and then around that last sort of little left-hand bend, and literally just saw the aftermath of it. I was still laying on the road at this point. I knew I was hurting, but I had an inkling, because you kind of just know when you've broken a bone, even if you're not screaming in agony. So I kind of just knew that I'd broken my wrist at least. My elbow, I didn't know I'd broken that at that point, but I was instinctively just holding it up like that as soon as I got off the floor anyway. So yeah, this bloke's jumped out of his car, started waving his arms around, saying, "Oh, it's your fault, you can't overtake me there." And this bloke is like the typical, like, sort of like carpet carrier type. So he jumped out of his car, blamed me for it, and I've gone, "Mate," camera on the side of me. He goes, "Yeah, I know what a fucking camera is." I was like, "Yeah, I was recording, dude." And he's like, oh, well, you can't overtake me there, and here, shake my hand, I'm sorry. I'm like, no, sorry doesn't cut it. You've pulled out in front of me, you cut me up on the roundabout, then you stopped brake checking me up the road. He goes, no, I didn't. I was like, mate, it's on camera. I've recorded from when I left my house up until now. I'm likely to be recording now as well, still. And he's like, oh, all right then. So he then starts going, well, you can't overtake me now. I was like, mate, you were brake checking me, you were stopping essentially in the middle of the road. I just wanted to get past you. I'm trying to get myself to work. He's like, yeah, so am I. I was like, yeah, but it doesn't kind of like work like that though. You can't just, you know, stop brake checking someone, and then, or cut someone up and then start brake checking them. You just can't do that, especially to a motorcyclist. So So yeah, it's like he's just trying to argue the fact that it was mostly my fault and he didn't want to go for insurance and that. So I got the couple's details who saw the accident. Well, I say accident, I'm pretty sure he swung right intentionally to either make me slam on my brakes. I think what he wanted me to do is me to slam on my brakes and stop in the middle of the road. I don't think his intentions were for me to slam into the side of his fucking car. Right, but yeah, anyway, so yeah, we initially we weren't going for insurance, and I was just expecting him to, he goes, right, get a quote for your bike and or sort it out, and it's just like, yeah mate, the bike is a bit knackered. I couldn't ride it home, definitely could not have ridden it home, even if I didn't break my wrist and elbow. I wouldn't have been able to ride it home. The damage was front brake, clutch, sort of left-hand foot peg with everything that is around the foot peg, so look, of all the mechanical bits. Rear brake assembly, the shifter assembly, and sort of all the mounts and bits and bobs and stuff like that that attach itself to pretty much most of the bike had sheared off, come loose, or just broke in some way, shape or form, i.e. bending, denting or what have you. I took the bike to Thunder Road, Gloucester. They assessed the bike, they said yeah, it's going to be about 1,600 quid to repair, bearing in mind on the £3 bike, which the bike ain't worth £3 anymore anyway. Especially after 2 years and 3 crashes, but one of them was a slight sort of daring scratch on a roundabout because some guy decided to cut across 2 lanes of traffic to get onto the M4. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So yeah, so £1,600. I've gone through my insurance at this point because it had been about 8 weeks since I've heard from the bloke, and he wasn't replying to any of my messages. So then I've gone, oh okay then, he's obviously not interested in paying for the bike after I told him how much it was. That, and I gave him the quote for my helmet, my camera and my intercom system, and that in itself was another £1,000 worth of damages. So yeah, this bloke wasn't going to fork out 2,600 quid worth of damages. So at that point I've essentially told my insurance what had happened, and they've gone, oh well, the best way you can do is essentially you can claim off your insurance and we can go from there. So I'm like, oh okay then, so my premium's going to go off anyway next year. They're like, well yeah, it's like even if you weren't claiming. I was like, yeah I know, but my insurance as it is now, 1,300 fucking quid a year. It's ridiculous. Right, I'm 26 years old, bearing in mind I have had 2 crashes. Right, but I am on the 125 as well, so yeah, it kind of does, you know, build up the cost just a bit. So yeah, 1,600 quid for the bike. Bike is all repaired and fully functioning and working now. So yeah, it's good to be back on the bike now and that. But yeah, anyway, right, what had happened? Bloke pulls out in front of me, starts brake checking me. I got a bit agitated with the bloke brake checking me. I just wanted to get myself to work, so I essentially just wanted to overtake him. Because of that overtake, the guy swung right and took me off. So it's a bit of a lesson for me really. If someone's brake checking me down the road, just fucking stop in the middle of the road, wait for them to piss off. That's literally about it. the lesson that I learned is there are some arsehole drivers out there who, if they don't want you on the road that day, you... Oh. If someone doesn't want you on the road that day, then there's nothing you can really do about it, because there's nothing to say that if I had stopped in the middle of the road, this bloke would just slam the car into reverse and run me over anyway. It's the chance that I was taking. So yeah, Jimmy's broken, bike broken, Jimmy is fixed, sort of. Bike is definitely fixed. So we're back on the road. Jimmy is looking to get out more videos, as I've actually had a request from someone for me to get more videos out and for me to, you know, get back into motovlogging. Although I've done 10 videos, I do want to motovlog again. I am gonna motovlog again. However, my last video, I believe, was about 11 months ago now. It was essentially me saying, yeah, I'm returning back to motovlogging. I'm gonna get them out when and as they come, and you know, I'm not gonna stick to a certain schedule or anything like this. However, it's just I had so much trouble with my previous drift, especially with it saying low speed card, and I don't know if that was a result of a crash from 2015, because no matter what card I used, whether it be a 24 gig, was it 24 gig? Yeah, something like that, a 32 gig and a 64 gig, class 10, C class 10 card. Like, literally, I was going. I've used about a dozen different cards that Drift recommended, like, to be their top cards, and yeah, and it just every now and again it will come up low speed card. Hopefully it hasn't done that now. I was hoping that it was just hoping that it was a camera that was a bit fucked then. So yeah, Jimmy is actually in the workings of releasing more videos. I've got another one that I'm going to be recording today. That should be out within the next couple of days anyway, from me releasing this one. It is Sunday and I am due to get back to work tomorrow as well. I've just had 2 weeks off. So yeah, I have actually been back to work for almost the last month now. I am struggling at work, to be honest. Oh yeah, from my previous videos, I was on about me going into a department called NDT, non-destructive testing. I actually got the job in NDT. I've got my magnetic floor detect level 2 certificate. I've got my chemical analysis certificate, and I am on my road to be doing my penetrant floor detect certificate, which is going to be a level 2 at that. My manager seems to think that, yeah, we're going to skip the level 1 certs, go straight to level 2, because level 1 it's essentially a week's course to get that certificate, to then, you know, wait a little bit to then do another week's course. Yeah, so to get my level 2, so we're not doing that. We're just going to go from level 0 to level 2. It does involve a lot more sort of cramming and sort of theory work, and I'm essentially cramming 2 courses into the one at this point. But yeah, it's all good. Jimmy's on the mend. Jimmy's in a better position work-wise. He's happier about it. You know, he's feeling like a bit more of a useful member to the factory. Oh no, I wasn't going to make that. So yeah, Jimmy's getting some more videos out soon, guys. So tell you what, why don't you stick around and wait to see what's over on the horizon. As always, guys, remember, stay safe out there. Keep your wits about you. If you see any arseholes on the road, just stay clear from them. At the end of the day, it is your life, it is your squishy body. They're in a fucking car, like a 2-ton metal fucking cage that can protect them. Unless you went through their window and headbutted them, which, yeah, sometimes seems like a good idea. Other times, not so much. But yeah, anyway, guys, stay safe out there, and catch you guys soon. Toodles.